She didn't say she needed help. She didn't say she was scared. She just looked up at a group of strangers and asked, "Does your house get quiet too, right before someone gets hurt?" And in that moment, an ordinary afternoon in America stopped being ordinary. It was just after school hours. The sun sat low over a small town bus terminal in the Midwest. Yellow school buses passed by. A grocery store sign flickered across the street. A few city bus drivers and rideshare drivers stood near their vehicles, waiting for their next shift. Coffee cups, baseball caps, talk about gas prices and overtime hours. Nothing special, nothing alarming. Then she appeared. She stood near the vending machine, clutching a faded blue backpack with cartoon patches peeling off the sides. Her sneakers were scuffed. Her hair was neatly tied like someone had taken extra care before sending her out. One driver noticed her watching them. "Hey, kiddo," he said kindly. "You waiting for the bus?" She shook her head. "You lost?" Another asked. "No," she said quickly. "I just needed to ask something." She took a breath, and then she asked, "Does your house get quiet too, right before someone gets hurt?" The laughter stopped. Someone turned off the radio. No one knew how to respond. One driver forced a chuckle. "That's a strange thing to ask." But she didn't smile. She looked relieved, like she was finally saying something she'd been holding in. A woman who drove for the city bus system knelt down. "What do you mean by hurt?" she asked gently. The girl shrugged. "My mom cries sometimes," she said. "Sometimes plates break. Sometimes everyone stops talking for a long time." She said it calmly, too calmly. "Where's your mom right now?" the woman asked. "At home." "And your dad?" The girl hesitated. "He was really quiet this morning," she said. "That usually means tonight will be bad." The drivers exchanged looks. "How do you know?" someone asked. "Because it's always the same," she said. "Quiet, then yelling, then quiet again." She stared at the concrete. "When it's really quiet," she added, "that's when my mom tells me to go to my room or outside." One driver stepped closer. "Why are you here instead of at home?" he asked. Her voice shook for the first time. "My mom didn't tell me to leave today," she whispered. "She usually does." The air felt heavier. "She tells me to count things," the girl continued. "Cars, streetlights, steps. So I don't hear." A woman pressed her lips together, fighting tears. "Why did you want to ask us?" Another driver said softly. The girl looked up. "I wanted to know if this is normal," she said. "Because if it's normal, then I don't have to be scared." Her eyes filled. "But if it's not normal," she added, "then maybe my mom needs help." That was the moment they knew. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a child living inside fear. One driver quietly stepped away and called local emergency services. Not loudly, not urgently, just steady and clear. Another handed the girl a granola bar and water. "You're safe here," the woman told her. "No one's angry." The girl nodded but whispered, "Please don't tell my dad. He says bad things happen when people talk." The woman knelt in front of her. "Listen to me," she said firmly. "What's happening at your house is not your fault. Not because you talked. Not because you stayed quiet. Not ever." The girl stared at her. "What about my mom?" she asked. "She deserves to be safe too," the woman replied. When help arrived, the girl finally cried. Not loudly, just quietly, like someone who had been holding everything in. As she was gently guided away, she turned back. "Will my mom stop pretending tomorrow?" she asked. One of the drivers answered softly, "She won't have to pretend anymore." The bus terminal stayed quiet long after she left. No one talked about work. No one joked. One driver finally said, "I always thought violence meant bruises." Another replied, "I didn't realize silence could be this dangerous." They all went home changed. Because once a child asks whether pain is normal, you can't forget it. Domestic violence doesn't only harm adults, it teaches children to fear quiet rooms, to listen for footsteps, to believe danger is normal. Children should not learn survival inside their own homes. If a child is asking strangers whether pain is normal, the violence has already gone too far. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe. Someone watching may be a child or a parent who needs to know help exists. Silence protects abuse. Awareness protects children. Comment, like, share, and subscribe today. Meek Tales Hub for real stories that raise awareness, encourage healing, and give a voice to silent pain.